Hi guys, today we will see what are the different best practices in programming, and if you follow these best practices your code will be standardized and it will be readable. So let's move on to first best practice. Always use consistent naming conventions. What does it mean? So if you are writing a variable name or a function name or anything for that matter, and if it comprises of multiple variables, so you should either use a camel case format, and otherwise you can use underscore as the differentiator between different words. So this was the first best practice. Second best practice is always use proper comments. You should not use obvious comments. For example, if you are writing a line of code which reads the file object, so you should not write comments saying that reading the file object. It is what it is doing, right? So you should explain what is happening, so that if someone comes and he or she doesn't know this programming language, using the comments they can understand what is happening on this line of code, right? So third one is indentation. So always follow the indentation, that means spacing between block of codes. Suppose if you are writing a function definition, the name of function will come, after that there will be a line of code or block of code that should come after some spacing or indentation, and it's a best practice. In Java it will not give you error, but in Python it will give you error, right? But irrespective of compilation error, you should follow this best practice so that someone can read it properly. Fourth is dry principle. Do not repeat yourself. Most of the times same functionality of the code is there, but we write it multiple places, so it's just a repetitive code. So instead of that, we can write that particular piece of code, generalize it and write it in a function and call that function. It is also called as modular programming, and we can fulfill this dry principle using that. Final one is limit the line length. Suppose if you are declaring a variable and its value is a string which is almost 1000 characters, so you should not it's just an example, you should not write it in a single line. So you can just set a threshold saying that, yeah, after 100th character I will continue it on next line, then again after 100 characters I will continue it on next line. So by this way it will look like a paragraph. Whoever reading that can understand, yeah, this is the value of this variable. So otherwise he or she may need to scroll it to right side just to check where it is actually ending. So it's a best practice. So limit the line length. So these are the 5 best practices. If you follow, your code will be standardized. If you are writing to open source community, anyone in the world can read your code properly if you follow these 5 best practices. And if you want to see the examples of these 5 best practices, follow the next video and subscribe to this channel. Cheers.